Listen, your absence became the loudest love language I have ever learned. I'm not angry, I'm just tired of pretending it didn't hurt. Listen carefully. Your promises were whispers drowned by your silence. I held on when you were already letting go. Listen, sometimes love dies not from hate, but neglect. You broke my trust softly like a secret I couldn't share. Listen, I was your shelter until storms became your escape. I loved you quietly, you left me loudly. Listen, your ghost still dances in the spaces you left empty. I waited for you to change, but I changed instead. Listen, my heart learned to beat alone after you stopped fighting. You chose the world over me. I chose to survive. Listen, some wounds heal, others write stories in our souls. I gave you my everything and still felt invisible. Listen, love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the silence between words. You never loved me less. You just loved yourself more. Listen, your goodbye was the beginning of my awakening. I'm still searching for the love you lost along the way. Listen, I cried for you not because I was weak, but because I loved deeply. You left holes in me only time will fill. Listen, the hardest part wasn't losing you, it was losing myself. I gave you space, you gave me absence. Listen, the truth we ignored screams louder than any fight. I stayed too long, hoping you'd see me again. Listen, sometimes love means letting go without looking back. You taught me love can hurt, but also heal. Listen, I loved you enough to walk away when you couldn't. You were my addiction, my cure, and my pain. Listen, your silence is the loudest lie I ever heard. I was your refuge. You became my storm. Listen carefully. My heart still writes letters you'll never read. I'm learning to love myself where you left me broken. Listen, you were my forever until forever became never. I kept your name hidden in prayers and tears. Listen, sometimes love is a lesson disguised as loss. You loved me in fragments. I loved you whole. Listen, the space between us is full of unsaid goodbyes. I wished for you to stay, but you wished to leave. Listen, healing starts when silence becomes your loudest voice. You broke me gently, and I loved you fiercely anyway. Listen, my heart aches for the love you forgot to give. I was lost in your absence before I found myself. Listen, you loved the idea of me more than the reality. I carried your memories like a sacred burden. Listen carefully. Some love stories end in silence, not closure. I waited for your love, but only found your shadow. Listen, heartbreak is the soul's way of waking up. You left footprints in my soul I can't erase. Listen, I gave you light. You gave me darkness. You were my dream until reality took over. Listen, sometimes the hardest goodbye is the one we never say. I was your home, but you built walls around me. Listen, your absence taught me the true meaning of loneliness. You loved me only when it was easy to do so. Listen, love isn't always enough to keep two hearts alive. I'm healing slowly from a love that wasn't mine to keep. Listen, you were a chapter I had to close to write my story. I still hear your voice in the quietest moments. Listen, some wounds remain hidden, but they bleed quietly. I loved you beyond reason, and it cost me everything. Listen carefully. My heart still beats in your absence. You left a silence louder than any words could speak. I believed in us, but you believed in leaving. Listen, your love was a storm I couldn't outrun. I still carry the scars of your goodbye. Listen, you taught me how to love and how to let go. I cried in the dark so you could sleep peacefully. Listen, my soul still whispers your name in the night. You didn't leave me, you left the version of us I loved. Listen, some hearts break to make space for new love. I loved you enough to lose myself. Listen, the hardest part was loving someone who stopped loving themselves. You held my hand, but let go of my heart. Listen, my tears were prayers you never answered. I stayed silent so your pride wouldn't break. Listen, love taught me how to fall, and heartbreak how to rise. You left me with memories and unanswered questions. Listen, the truth is I still miss you more than I admit. I loved you beyond words, but you left me speechless. Listen carefully. Sometimes loving someone means setting them free. I'm stronger now because I loved and lost you. Listen, you were my lesson in patience and pain. I gave you my heart. You gave me lessons instead. Listen, the silence between us was the loudest goodbye. You became a stranger I once loved deeply. Listen, my soul still searches for the love you promised. I loved you in the spaces between your words. Listen carefully. Sometimes love is the hardest goodbye to say. You left me broken, but I'm healing in silence. Listen, I'm learning to love myself after loving you too much. You taught me the difference between love and attachment. My dear, listen very carefully. Your silence is teaching me to live without your presence. Listen carefully. Your name still burns through my prayers like unfinished business. They think I'm over you, but I still flinch when someone mentions your laugh. Listen, this isn't anger, it's heartbreak pretending it doesn't care anymore. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because you stopped noticing. Listen close. I begged the universe to return you, but it sent healing instead. Every "I'm fine," I said, was another funeral for the love I couldn't express. Listen very carefully. Your touch still echoes in my bones like a warning. They think I hate you. I just loved you too hard to pretend it didn't hurt. Listen to me carefully. You're not the villain. You're just the wound that never closes. I stopped arguing with you when I realized I was just screaming into abandonment. Listen, my silence is not peace, it's punishment. Every time I close my eyes, you come back just to leave again. Listen carefully. I'm not healing, I'm just hiding it better. I buried you in forgiveness, but some days your ghost still breathes through me. Listen, your goodbye still echoes like a prophecy. I've grown quiet, not strong. You weren't careless. You were deliberate with your silence. Listen, my anger was a disguise for the begging you couldn't hear. I warned you I'd leave. You dared me to prove it. You lost me in pieces. I left whole. I was your secret. You were my prayer. Listen closely. Your indifference was louder than any goodbye. I deleted your number, but not your imprint. Listen carefully. Your lies still replay like lullabies. I loved you in ways I'll never admit again. You didn't break my heart. You hollowed it. Listen, when I said I'm okay, I meant I'm broken, respectfully. You made me feel replaceable, then blamed me for leaving. Listen carefully. I became what I needed to survive you. You weren't the lesson. You were the test I failed twice. Listen, closure never came. I had to become it. You lost me the moment you questioned my loyalty. Listen, I saw your future, and it didn't have room for me. I was addicted to the pain because it still felt like you. You didn't push me away. You slowly erased me. Listen, your silence was louder than my confessions. I stayed because I saw potential. You stayed because I tolerated pain. Listen closely. I broke myself loving you gently. I still check the sky for signs of your soul. You didn't fall out of love. You walked. Listen, I left parts of me in the way you used to breathe my name. My loyalty kept me longer than your love did. Listen, some betrayals wear soft hands. You asked for space, but buried me in distance. Listen to the silence between us. It's louder than love. I hoped you'd chase me. You watched me walk. Listen, if you ever feel me in your chest, it's regret. I wasn't asking for everything. just for you to choose me once. Listen, I loved you so deeply, I drowned. I begged heaven for clarity. It sent me your absence. You didn't love me back. You loved the way I loved you. Listen, I wasn't dramatic. I was drowning silently. You took your time leaving. I took mine healing. Listen, your name still ruins good days. I forgave you. I just don't recognize you anymore. You never said goodbye. You just stopped showing up. Listen closely. I wasn't hard to love. You were scared to stay. I don't hate you. I hate who I became for you. Listen, I wrote poems about your silence. You weren't absent. You were present in the wrong way. Listen carefully. Your love expired while I was still starving for it. You turned every promise into a quiet betrayal. Listen, I begged for a future. You offered confusion. My absence will scream louder than my presence ever did. Listen, I wasn't weak for staying. I was loyal beyond logic. You didn't forget me. You buried me in pride. I stopped needing answers. Your silence taught me enough. Listen, I wanted honesty, not perfection. You broke me gently, then blamed me for bleeding. Listen, my heart didn't break. It surrendered. You treated me like a backup plan. I wanted to be your home. I cried in secret so you could shine. Listen, I prayed for you even when you cursed me. You lost me in inches. I left in silence. I didn't want perfect. I wanted effort. Listen, I healed without closure. That's strength. You called me dramatic. I called it drowning. I'm not bitter. I'm just no longer blind. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Like, comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more. You weren't confused. You were comfortable. Listen, my goodbye wasn't a threat. It was overdue. You didn't choose peace. You chose avoidance. Listen, I still have conversations with the version of you I loved. I disappeared so you could finally see me. Listen carefully. Your ghost still answers my prayers. You knew my wounds, then aimed for them. I was loyal in silence. You betrayed me in noise.